Can't tell much about this. Just with the user's manual, I would need to have a unit like it. Although there's a UART port here, UART 0, ground, transmit and receive, going to a telemetry port here, 1, UART on the PixHawk. This is a PixHawk cube here, but a UART port is a UART port no matter what hardware it's on, and the H743 wing has a UART port. In my humble opinion, that's bringing in telemetry data from a UART on the air unit. The biggest problem I see with this whole system is the fact that it needs 14 to 72 volts as an input voltage. If you're using a 3S battery, you're not going to develop 14 volts. A 4S battery, 16 volts, you're going to be able to power it. It just uses a lot of voltage. That's just unreal. And as far as connecting it to the H74 wing for the camera data, I don't see there's a way to do that. I see that the camera goes in here, and I think it transmits its data out these two antennas back to that handheld unit, and therefore the camera connects to this rather than to the H743 board through the two camera ports, and then a video transmitter hooking to the video transmitter port on the 743 wing. I just don't think this is going to be very easy at all to hook to an H743 wing. And I think it's going to suck a lot of battery. This is basically set up to hook to the power supply and hook the power supply in here from the platform, and then it gets input from a UART. That would be fairly easy to do. UART 7 on the H743 wing to bring telemetry data into this unit so it can overlay the camera data that's coming in here. And then it gets transmitted out here. So this isn't like a normal system we would hook to a 743 wing. I also worry about its weight. Look how big that thing is. So here it is. Okay, yeah, this is the UART port 0 coming out here. Got a cable going over that's supplied with it to go to the telemetry port on the PixHawk cube that brings telemetry data in. Basically, if you don't use telemetry data, you put power and ground on this and hook the camera to it, and you don't hook it to the H743 wing at all. You only hook it to the H743 wing through this UART, transmit, receive, and ground, to pick up data from the H743 wing or this PixHawk cube to overlay in here. Without having the unit physically in my hand, I can't say more than that. So to reiterate, this port picks up telemetry data from a flight controller and is a UART. It's got ground, transmit, and receive on it. So if you hook it to the ground on a telemetry port, hook transmit to receive, and receive to transmit, data would come into this. Other than that, it's just power, and then it's all completely enclosed unit. I would just use something like this. Here's all your cables you need. A very small video transmitter that you can connect. Here's the whole shooting match cable. It just, plugs in here, and you have your battery input, which this uses much less voltage. This input goes over to the camera. This is smart audio that you can hook to a UART port. All it needs is a receive pin so that you can change the power and the channels on this from your handheld transmitter. The antenna clicks on that way, antenna screws onto here. You're finished. It's lightweight, low voltage, does the trick. I don't know what else to say about that other unit except for, boy, it's just big, clunky, and basically self-contained except for the telemetry data. You just have to add power and ground, and it works without telemetry overlay. And then 3 wires going over to a telemetry port, so it picks up telemetry port data. Really can't say much more about that unit.